The bombing of Pearl Harbor is a day that will live in infamy, said President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The attack took place in World War II. It was an attack on the United States and was done by Japan. Leading up to the war, there was obvious tension between Japan and the U.S. It was only a matter of time for who would strike first. Although there was tension, the attack came as a complete surprise to the U.S. because during the time, the U.S. and Japan were trying to resolve some tension between themselves. The day was December 7th, 1941. At 7:48 a.m., the first wave of 180 planes came through. Then the second wave came. The Japanese had used various airplanes and submarines to bomb Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor is a U.S. naval base located near Honolulu, Hawaii. There was a lot of damage. The U.S. ships were like sitting ducks in the harbor. 188 of our aircraft were destroyed, with 159 damaged. 3 of our cruisers were damaged, 4 of our battleships were sunk, with 4 damaged. 1 of our harbor tugs was sunk, 3 destroyers were damaged, and 3 other ships were damaged. In simple words, we lost a lot of important weapons. We also lost 2,335 people, with 1,143 injured. Japan had less of a loss. They had 74 aircraft damaged, 4 major submarines, and 29 of their aircraft destroyed. 64 of their people were killed, with 1 of their sailors captured. The goal of the attack was to take down the U.S. Pacific Fleet. Japan did not want the U.S. interfering with the war at all. Another one of their goals was to demoralize America and its people, but it ended up doing the opposite. Before the attack, the U.S. government didn't have too much of an interest in the war, and the public wasn't too concerned either. Although afterward, the whole country fell into fear, but they also became passionate and patriotic. The United States declared war on Japan the day after, although on the day of the attack, just hours after bombing us, Japan declared war on the USA. Once the U.S. was at war, citizens had to make sacrifices. Each person had rations for basic everyday supplies, like milk, sugar, butter, and gasoline. Citizens were encouraged to buy war bonds and help the war effort any way they could. Even the production of cars began to slow way down as factories switched to making weapons. Even women were assembling fighter planes, and everyone was making efforts. Life was difficult for those on the home front too, unlike what many would think. Overall, this attack changed the war. If it didn't happen, the U.S. would not have entered when they did, and maybe the good guys may not have won. This attack was the main reason for the U.S. entering the war. Who knows what could have happened without this devastating day?